Welcome to Marvelicious Toys. We bring you news and reviews of Marvel toys, statues, and more. Because not all Marvel collections can be bagged and boarded. They're not just toys, they're Marvelicious.
Now, the one other thing I want to talk about this week is we were sent some accessories from Spaghetti Webz. They are action figure web lines that they sell through eBay and Etsy. And these are really good accessories for your Spider-Man Legends figures. And the reason they call them Spaghetti Webz, it's Webz with a Z, is, Justin, are you familiar with Todd McFarlane's specific Spider-Man art?
Oh, yeah.
When he started drawing Spider-Man, I can't remember who the editor-in-chief was, but he changed the way the webs have been drawn, because ever since Stan Lee and Steve Ditko created Spider-Man, the webs have been drawn pretty straight, like they were coming out of a hose or something, like, you know, not like silly string even, but like just a stream of web. When McFarlane started drawing, he started drawing the webs as knotted and tangled around each other. And he kept getting editor's notes, stop drawing the spaghetti web. Because that's what it was described as by the editor. He's like, it looks like a plate of spaghetti when you're shooting these webs. But McFarlane stuck with it. The fans love it. And now that is the Spider-Man web line. Well, Spaghetti Webz sells these lines in a variety of different sizes. And what they're some kind of malleable wire. Like beading wire?
Yeah, it feels like beading wire, which is a thin kind of malleable wire that you can wrap very easily and it retains its shape. And it kind of looks like that's what these are done. They're just kind of wrapped in a haphazard pattern, if you will, around a main wire. And basically what you do is you've got one and you make a loop and then you wrap it around and they put a cap on it so you don't cut your finger, and then they spray painted it white.
Yeah, but they've wrapped it in such a way that it doesn't feel haphazard. It feels like they're doing what McFarlane drew.
Yeah, and I mean haphazard pattern, not as an insult. No,
I think McFarlane was drawing it to look haphazard, and they're recreating that here. And then, yeah, they painted it. Probably, yeah, it does maybe spray paint. It's perfectly painted on, all four sides. It's not like they missed the edges by flip painting it. But it's got kind of a off-white gray kind of paint, but the black is very visible. I don't know if that's the wire black where it didn't get paint, so it's showing through and it adds a depth to it, or if they did some kind of painting to add the black.
Yeah, or maybe just a lot of times on a wash like that, you paint the whole thing the base color that you want, so probably white, and then you go over and paint the whole thing black, and then while it's still wet, you wipe it away, so the black stays in the nooks and crannies. So if that might be what you're seeing there.
Ah, yeah.
So these aren't like rubber insulated wires, they're straight metal wires?
Yeah.
Okay, because I kind of thought that they might be like the annoying packaging wires that you're always taking out of figures.
No, very different.
But yeah, they look really cool. I would just be afraid to bend them too much.
I've been bending them quite a bit just to see, because I agree with you. My feeling is that this could very well break with enough bending. And I don't think that it's supposed to be like a posable figure where you keep redoing it. I think eventually it will snap if you just bend it back and forth a lot. But it's really, looking at the official photos they sent, great for diorama builders. You get it posed, you want a special web line, then you can just set it up to be in that way and pose it any way you want to start with and make it wrap however you want it to wrap. Now they have a loop that really is like supposed to go around the wrist of the Spider-Man or Spider-Woman, and then the end kind of shoots out. So it's kind of like an impact webbing at the end. Some of the ones we were sent do not have the loops or the nubs at the end. They're just tied off wire, but the vast majority have the loops, and they come in different lengths. They sell 3-inch, 6-inch, 9-inch, or 16-inch. The ones without the loops are the 16-inch webs.
Huh. And they also come in two colors, apparently. You can get the white ones like we're talking about, and they also offer a Venom Black.
I was not sent any of the Venom Black. I hadn't even seen those. But yeah, that's on their website there. I'll say these are really good-looking accessories. They add quite a bit. I'm not a diorama kind of guy, so as just like a weapon or an accessory to add, I'm having a little less luck finding great ways to make it pose. You know, it doesn't wrap around. Those spaghetti webbing is specifically for like shooting or web swinging or something. And if you had a Spider-Man that was posed as if he was web swinging, this would work like that. You'd have to kind of wrap the wire pretty tight though, and then find something to mount it on if you actually wanted it to support him.
What I think would be a really great accessory for the line like this would be like the webbing spooge, like they have, I don't know what it's called, like where he shoots somebody and then like they get trapped against the wall. Mm-hmm. To have something that kind of looks like that you could maybe, I guess you could use hooks on your shelves or something to kind of mount it, or use some double stick tape or something to make it stay.
Or magnetic. That'd be cool, yeah.
You could like trap somebody in the webbing too.
Yeah, that would be a nice additional accessory. Like this could end and like the little capped off end could plug into the magnet. So it looks like this is going to that.
Yes.
Yeah, that would help with just as an accessory way. These look great. For the way I deal with figures, which is often just having them on shelves and things, it looks cool to have it around his wrist and like he's shooting not a straight line. It's kind of going a little haphazard, but I've yet to, and this is more me than it because I see the pictures they've done. There are cool ways to pose it. I just haven't been able to get great poses out of it.
Yeah, and I think you kind of said what I would think about this too. If I had a Spider-Man diorama shelf or something, I'd be all over this. But I don't display my figures in a diorama way. But anybody who does, these look like they'd be a great accessory for photo shoots and adding to back alley shots and stuff like that.
That's what these are going to get the most use from me for, is indeed they're going to stay in the photo studio. And anytime I've got a Spider-Man figure out there, these are going to go in the repertoire of items I grab and start pulling from to get just extra accessory poses with, and, you know, have to state, you know, that's a Spaghetti Webz web line. It doesn't come with the figure, but it does really add a lot of visual flair because you get all these web shooting hands, but if you don't have a web coming out of them, then he's just making devil horns. You add the web there and you get something.
You're right. Hasbro's usually pretty good about giving us some sort of, you know, web splooge in the smaller 3 3/4 inch Spider-Man stuff, but none of the 6-inch Spider-Man ever come with any sploogey stuff. We even got a shield a few times with Spider-Man 6-inch. Got the web shield in that Amazing Spider-Man 2 line, remember?
Yeah. You know what? I did get a good web swinging pose out of him. I wrapped it around his wrist and I got it coming out of the devil horns hand, and it's still sturdy enough to even make it's not pendulous. He's not hanging at the lowest point of the swing. Over time it might bend a little bit, but holding it the way I am, it really gets a good swinging pose out of him.
Yeah, it looks good. And it looks really good with the figure with the red. And see, when we got him in the mail, I'm kind of like, oh, these are kind of different. I don't know how I feel about these, but putting them with the figures, I think makes a total difference. And it's really cool.
All this has got me thinking, when Spider-Man's out there saving the day in downtown New York, whatever, he's leaving an awful lot of mess of spiderweb ropes behind him, isn't he?
I thought they just disintegrated.
They do. They disintegrate after 1 hour.
Oh.
Now, on their website, I'm reading, and it does say these will hold up indefinitely for display. The more you bend them, they will result in breakage.
As in any wire would, though,
And if you order these, you get 2. So they sell them in pairs, except for the 16-inch version. And that comes just 1. And now, that's the only thing about these is I suggest really knowing what you're using them for. For the 3-inch ones, 2 is $15. And those are really short. They show it on the site as just being like an instant shot. It's the one I think I'll find the least use for. Then the 6-inch ones, much better value. You get 2 for $20. Those are the ones I think I'm going to go to the most. The 9-inch ones are really good. The 16-inch ones, mine didn't have the loops on it. And so I didn't see a whole lot of ways to use that other than just they have the shot there where they used one of the clear, like around the waist stands as well to get an awesome pose with it. But that's really for a tangle situation. But no, and these are all handmade items. So they say that on the site as well. And if you order the Venom, they want to know the size of the hand because they'll make the loop different sizes to make sure that it can go over his hand for shooting.
It's a nice touch for a handmade item.
Yeah. So we will put a link to their website. I think these are really well done. A very niche item, but I hope that Spider-Man fans like myself especially, I didn't start reading Spider-Man comics until McFarlane was writing them. So this brings a whole lot of nostalgia for me. And you can get them right now on eBay and Etsy.
Thanks for watching this video. You can see full episodes of Marvelicious Toys with more collecting news and reviews at marvelicioustoys.com. We also have thousands of toy and collectible photos in our photo gallery. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, make mine Marvelicious.